Hello friends, vinyl community, music lovers, Wes here back with another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. This is where I talk about albums that were new to my ears, sort of things I bought in the past, maybe more recent or maybe a while ago and I just hadn't got the chance to get to yet. Clean them up, give them a listen, and let you know what I thought of them. Let you know if they're something I want to keep in my collection and sort of give you a bit of background on each one and maybe be inspired to check out some of these yourself if you haven't heard them yourself. So let's just go ahead and get into this episode. First thing we have here is the debut album from the Dream Academy from 1985. This is just their self-titled album. Features the first track, their biggest hit, probably called Life in a Northern Town, a very well-known 80s song. The Dream Academy is a very dream pop sort of group. That song gives you a really good idea of what the rest of this album sounds like. Very dream pop, very nice, smooth, relaxing. There's a jazzy sense to it, a smooth jazz sort of sense to it, but just good, a classic good 80s album, really enjoyable. Recently listened to their second album and really loved that one. I actually think I like their second album a little better than this one. Their second album was a little more socially conscious, I think maybe is the right term to use. But they're both great albums and I really enjoyed this one a lot as well. There's the back of that one. The vinyl itself is on Warner Brothers. This album was produced by David Gilmour of the Pink Floyd. So that's a pretty interesting thing there. It was mastered at the Mastering Lab, TML-S in the Dead Wax, and pressed at SRC, Specialty Records Corp. Very good sounding album. This album sounds great. Really nice recording. Really good sounding album. So that was appreciated. Really just nice, pleasant sounding vinyl. You do get an inner sleeve with the lyrics to the songs on here and liner notes and stuff. No pictures or anything. But just a good classic 80s album. I really did enjoy that. So the Dream Academy, self-titled debut album, 1985, going in the collection. Alright, the next album we're going to talk about is a pretty common one. Not much needs to be said here. This is Electric Light Orchestra's Greatest Hits. It's a pretty common album. Has a lot of their really big hits. See, when there's 1979, so up until 1979, got a lot of stuff on here. Got stuff from Face the Music, A New World Record, On the Third Day, Out of the Blue. Those are the albums that these tracks are pulled from, so the best from those albums. You get an inner sleeve with some lyrics on it, and a photo of the band, which is nice. And ELO are on Jet Records, and I always like that Jet Records label. It's a very cool label. I really enjoyed that, and yeah, just a really nice greatest hits compilation. I've talked about ELO in the past, and I'm sort of hit or miss on them. I like some of their stuff. I don't like other things from them. So maybe having this greatest hits is a good idea for me. So I'm going to keep this around for now. It's one of those ones where you know a lot of the songs. So yeah, ELO greatest hits going in the collection for now. Okay, the next thing we have to talk about here is the first release from Billy Idol. This is an EP titled Don't Stop, released in 1981. Has the songs Money Money on here, which is a remake of Tommy James and the Shondells, I believe. There's a Baby Talk, a song Untouchables, and then Dancing With Myself long version, which is really good. Probably one of my favorite Billy Idol songs. I really do enjoy that song. Sort of its light punk sort of vibe to it, which I really enjoy. Really nice piece for the collection. I actually picked this up. Oh, wrong side there. The yellow sticker means this was 25 cents at the library sale, so that's where this came from. Picked this up for 25 cents. Nice addition to the collection, I think. Like I said, I really do like Dancing With Myself, and Money Money's fun. Baby Talk and Untouchables are sort of just okay for me. Didn't grab me that well, but just a good piece for the collection for now. Okay, next up we have the second album from Soul to Soul. This is titled Volume 2, A New Decade, 1990. Soul to Soul are sort of a dance, R&B, pop sort of sound, something that was very popular in the early 90s, late 80s. You have groups like PM Dawn, CNC Music Factory. There's another one that I'm totally blanking on for some reason. But this is their second album. Karen Wheeler had left the band at this point, so she was sort of the front person, front singer, front performer of the band, very recognizable voice, and so this one was not as good as their first album, I would say, but still a good sort of snapshot of that time period and the type of music that was popular, and you can tell by the sort of artwork, the very colorful artwork on here, sort of that early 90s, very colorful time period as far as styles and art would go. You know, you had things like In Living Color and sort of that time period. It's still a good album, still an enjoyable listen, definitely something if I want to revisit the early 90s, this is something I could play. Inner sleeve with some liner notes on here and a little bit more artwork on there. And this is on Virgin Records with that sort of black label with the silver lettering and the blue triangle there. Another one pressed at SRC, Specialty Records Corp. A pretty good sounding album, reasonably weighted vinyl, you know, not super thin or anything. For the time period, this is a pretty good sounding album. That's a keeper for me, and this is another one from the library sale. It was $1.25. Soul to Soul, 1990, A New Decade. Second release going in the collection. Okay, and the last album we have to talk about for today is what I believe is the 10th album from Vassar Clemens. This is titled Hillbilly Jazz, released on Flying Fish Records. I'm not sure what the year is on this one. 1974 is when this was released, and Vassar Clemens, if you don't know, is a bluegrass artist. Has sort of his own unique style where he does incorporate some sort of swing jazz sort of sounds into it. A very unique, interesting style of bluegrass. Unfortunately, this album, I don't know if it's going to be able to show up on camera. Probably not, but it has some very bad orange peel, which I didn't recognize when I bought this album. And so the sound quality is really noisy, and I'm actually not going to be keeping this one. I do have another copy of this album in the inbox somewhere that I bought at a later date because the cover was nicer. I'm hoping maybe the pressing is better as well. But unfortunately, I can't keep this one. But it was a nice listen just once to hear it and sort of hear you know, a Vassar Clemens album. As I don't think I've ever heard just a whole album of his. I've heard him on various compilations of bluegrass music and stuff, but hadn't really listened to an album from him. This is a 2 LP set. Like I said, Flying Fish Records. And yeah, unfortunately, pretty bad orange peel on here, so won't be keeping that one. Kind of overpaid for it as well. This was $2 at the library sale. So, unfortunately, not a keeper. The first 4 were all keepers, and here's one that just didn't quite make it. I don't think I showed this. I haven't had a gatefold in a while, but this is a gatefold. Pretty cool there. So yeah, that's it. I want to thank you for watching another episode of The Vinyl Survivor. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you enjoyed the video. That lets me know you like what I'm doing, and it'll keep you updated when I do more videos. So thank you for watching. Thanks for any comments you have or anything like that, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.